All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Clockwork Nexus. It is Friday, which means you are here for some pirate shenanigans in our campaign, Golden Ghosts. And we got a full party here. So let's all take a minute to clap for that. Yay!
Yay, I'm clapping. You just can't see me.
Yes, Tim is here. His camera just is kaput. So, it's fine. And apparently I'm Irish tonight, which I'm fine with. All right, let's do a quick Reader's Digest version of intros to the players, if you please. Starting with you, Justin. Who are you? Who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Gale. I'm cleric. Yeah.
And his name is Justin. Ken.
I'm Morel, and I'm a roguelock.
Taylor.
Hi, I'm Nerdy Pinup Girl. If you like things like cosplay, D&D, nerdy stuff, thirst traps, you should totally give me a follow. Today I'm playing Morella Luminescent, since we're keeping this vibe today.
We are keeping this vibe, and if the chat is any indication, it's going to be unhinged. So, we're here for it. Selkie!
Hello, I'm Selkie, Tides of Ashlings on the Tiki Takis. I will be playing Ellie. She is a Venom spirit druid. She's the quartermaster. She's never fully dressed without a smile.
There's so many jokes I want to make. All right, Mr. Selkie, Talon, what's up?
Today I am playing Chandrian Farseer, bosun's mate and barbarian extraordinaire. He is our graciously giant Goliath himbo of the party. So it should be a wonderful, wonderful time.
Who is going to be, he's going to get a nickname, he's going to just be known as the Hammer.
We already have...
Hammer!
Hammer.
All right, new Ken.
I am at Old School Kenny on the Tiki Takis, and I am playing Ubriel Ferrarius today, who is our resident artificer and a person who is attempting to equip the ship with cannons.
Beautiful. And Tim.
It is I, Tim.
Kind of.
I'm here, I promise. You can find me on social media as Doorstop Idol on most socials, but I don't use them. So TikTok is the only one that I do use, and even that is pretty rare anymore. But hey, if you really care about a boring life, check me out. I am playing Eric the Cleric, which we're just going with now. I'm not even going to pretend that it wasn't, an accident, because it's awesome. And that's who I am.
Truth. All right. And I am going to be your narrator of sorts. Narrator. There we go. Of sorts. Your dungeon master. I am Big Chief. You can find me at Big Chief 1387 on the TikToks, where I am not normally active. But hey, I posted like 2 videos today. I feel like that's an accomplishment,
That was great.
Thank you. But we got some stuff going on, and to remind us is our now locked in every episode recap man that he's here anyway. Sorry, you're good at it, and now this is part of your personality. All right, Talon, tell us what happened last time.
So as the lights opened up on our merry band of misadventurers on this last session, we were short a couple of personnel. So I won't be able to go too deep into what happened with their characters. But the old Captain Kynan stood before us, staving off Blackbeard's wrath. And as the encounter started to settle and shift away, each of us were kind of drawn into our own dreams. We each had our own very emotional, very, very tugging at the heartstrings conversations with the old captain, including myself, who really wasn't too aware of what was going on. I do believe our current dear Captain Morella had a really nice heart-to-heart with her adoptive father, our quartermaster, and got to receive some very special advice about things that were going on within her life. And we were all kind of steered moving forward. As we woke up, there was many activities going on about the ship, including Ellie making what was perhaps a fairly normal breakfast for the rest of the crew. Some outright terrible eggs and coffee that was just strong enough to not taste like water anymore. We might have munched on a couple of beans here and there. And then moving forward, we noticed that the island or the port that we were getting ready to dock at had been completely leveled. The scene that was before us looked as though perhaps a hurricane or tsunami, maybe something natural, had wiped out this once prosperous seaport. And floating in the waves was the wreckage, albeit old wreckage, of one of the ships that we were searching for. Realizing that we were not going to find safe harbor, the merry crew hoisted our magical sails, and we kind of turned tail and ran away very quickly at that point in time. And we are currently heading back to go talk to the Council of Pirates, hopefully accomplishing the task in which they set us out.
Da 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 da.
You're muted, Brian.
Awesome. I need to get better at that. So you guys are currently on your way to back home to Beshbakra with proof of 2 of the ships. Haven't heard about the 3rd. You guys did anybody, I forget, did anybody actually confirm the state of Blackwater?
Yeah,
Like,
I
y'all
thought
saw it,
I,
but
I
did
thought
anybody
I thought Morel went over to Blackwater and saw it, or was that just a random island that Morel swam to?
No, we got some. We did actually see stuff at Blackwater.
I know it was a bunch of ash and stuff, but I know there was
was like
something
ash
else.
and soot and stuff.
it was a lot of debris and whatnot. That's
Maybe
true.
may one of us roll a history check?
So as I recall, last time none of us actually approached the ship. Upon seeing that Blackwater had been completely demolished, the orders of Morella was we had
I
30
remember.
minutes to turn around and head out.
Um,
The only thing we did was receive the placard from the ship.
yeah, Ubriel flew,
Right.
and he flew over it and saw that it was
Yep.
pretty much leveled up. But you guys didn't check it out close enough to see. There are other people talking. Am I hearing that for real, or am I hearing something from my house?
Yes, I have friends over there.
Got it. Okay, good to know. So you did go and retrieve the ship's nameplate, and that's really all there was to get. That you pulled it out of the sand, but yeah, you kind of flew over the town and found out, yeah, it's shitty. So we'll go back to the ship. You guys are on your way back. To explain away the hey, Tim is actually here now. Welcome, Tim.
Tim.
Welcome back.
But
I am
to
a
explain
tech
away
genius.
the clerics, we're gonna say that y'all were just really run out from whatever happened on that ship, and y'all needed napsies, that's what happened.
Major napsies.
Major napsies. But you guys are on the way back. Here's what I'm going to bring up, because there's a conversation that I know 2 of you have brought up to me that you guys want to have. So, Ellie, if you're all right with it, we're going to say that you are kind of up on the deck, just kind of hanging out by the rail a little bit and kind of looking as the ship is sailing. And Morel, you see her standing there because I know that you've been looking to have a conversation. So y'all take it away and do some things.
How's the weather?
She just sort of looks up like, it's
Oh.
okay.
Do you know if there's cookies today?
Well, if there is cookies, I'm not cooking them.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go see if there are cookies.
Just sort of nod. Okay.
Okay, goodbye.
Fuck you, Ken.
Dude, that ship is long past.
I didn't know. Y'all both brought it up.
Like literally 3 sessions ago.
I don't know what to do with you, Ken. All right. Well, that conversation cut short. Is there any other conversations? You know, one of you was looking to get some therapy, and then your hugging buddy was asleep last time.
I want to know if there are cookies.
Eric, are there cookies being made?
You know what there are, because Eric has given standing orders to his galley subordinates to always have cookies baking.
Okay. As you're kind of
keep more happy.
as you're kind of like waking up after like a 24-hour nap, kind of walking around, give me a perception check real quick.
While he's perceiving whatever he's perceiving, hey, Eric, I just want to let you know that some of your cats are missing. You probably didn't want to perceive that, but it's possible that you did. But
Now you can make that
nevertheless,
perception.
I'm going to go ahead and take this platter of well-made chocolate chip cookies with sprinkles, and I will go and give them to each and every member of the crew, wishing them good luck, safe voyage, and a happy handshake.
All right. Eric,
Is
you
there
can
any
make
cat
that
in the
perception
cookie?
check with advantage now.
Oh, with advantage. Okay, so we'll see if I actually beat what I got, because I already got a 21. But
That's enough. You're fine.
oh, it was a 21 the second time too.
So you definitely notice that there are. Selkie, roll a d4.
Poor Selkie. I feel so bad for Ellie just
There's
being
a
like
one.
just being the murderer of cats.
So you notice that one of your cats are definitely missing. I will say you do notice that it's like one of the less friendly ones, though.
Which is fair, but I think, Eric has previously talked to Ellie about not eating the cats. Probably gonna have to, just check in at some point in time on that regard.
Okay. So are you going to do this now or just later?
Well, there are other, there's other business to attend to, such as making sure the cookies are being baked properly and to his instruction. And it seems like they are, so that's how he's occupying himself at the moment.
On an above game thing, I am extremely worried about the fact that we are 20 minutes into this thing and the game chat already has 52 messages on it in 20 minutes. This is only going to lead to good things.
It's gonna lead to great things, Brian.
I
What do
trust
mean?
you guys. I trust you guys implicitly.
No,
I mean, it
you
was-
don't.
To be fair, it was mostly about drinking games and now bisexuality. I'm pretty sure that's where we are. I
Yeah.
might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I'm looking at.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there is one more ship left on here for like Ubriel and Eric, but we're working on that. Speaking of,
I'm sorry.
anywho,
Oh, I'm having terrible deja vu right now.
I'm having terrible deja vu right now. That's funny. The background noise for the win. All right, so I'll just make this real simple then. If there are there any other conversations that y'all wish to have before we just kind of do some rolls to see how quick you guys get back to town?
Before we go into any of that, about 2 sessions ago, there was a bunch of stuff that we picked up that I don't think we ever actually divvied out.
Okay.
We should probably talk about that.
Are you talking about when you found like the massive amount of loot that you guys actually went through with like the bars of iron and copper and all that shit, or was that last time that y'all went through that?
The one before that, not the one that Uriel was excited about. The one from the Harpy's
The
Nest.
harpy. The harpy.
All right, play it out then. Tell me what y'all got are doing. Paint me a picture. Tell me what's happening.
Are you talking? Are you talking about the? Are you talking about the blowgun, the planchette, and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you have nothing
Did
to
we
talk
actually
about.
divvy that out, or
Nobody knows.
did I just miss something?
Yeah, you definitely missed something.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
never mind.
I mean,
It
I know
doesn't
there
exist.
were.
Y'all watching at home, we definitely know what we're doing.
We do.
We do.
There were 2 items that Eric would have probably gravitated towards. Not to be greedy, but literally they only work for him. So the Battle Chef pauldrons, because it's a set bonus type thing, and also the cookbook, which somebody has, I don't believe, has ever yet put into D&D Beyond.
Oh,
No, okay. Hey, hold on a second. I never dumped out that backpack.
y'all did go over it though. I do remember in game you guys did sit there and say this is what we found.
Oh, because that's where the Wyvern Sting Stag Scabbard was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, then it's something else that okay. Yeah, that was where you tried to give me 4 mage arrows, and I was like, "What the hell are these things?" and threw them overboard.
Did you really?
I don't give a shit about that stuff.
Awesome.
What?
As I look at
What
the
the hell
price
is
The
that?
officer on board.
I got
and
Eldritch
the
Blast.
person
I
in
don't
charge of
need
like shooting
arrows.
stuff. Like, don't ever throw away ammo.
I was gonna say those arrows were worth like 1,500 gold a piece, but you know it's cool.
Maybe to you, I would have sold them for a nickel.
God damn it, Morel! We could have given that shit to the poor.
I did
Look,
give it to the
You
poor.
know, morale,
The poor,
there's a certain
unfortunate
level
souls.
of maturity that needs to happen.
Ken,
You know what?
Seldom-
And hold up,
Ken,
hold
I
up,
need
hold
to
up,
take a
hold
moment.
up.
Chef's kiss.
Ken,
Mwah.
Ken, that is
Uh.
an inspiration for Morel. Remember, in my games, you can bank up to 3.
Yeah, I already have 3, buddy. But I appreciate your time. I appreciate your time and courtesy. But
Look at Ken over. Y'all are up to 61. It's only been 4 minutes.
We have a problem, okay?
did you want me to read off what that stuff was again?
If you want to, go for it.
Well, it's up to the party. I don't know if anybody else wrote it down.
Wrote
I
what
did.
down?
Okay. Well, I'll just spout it out real quick. I have a backpack of shit. That's exactly what I wrote down. And in there was a Hero's Cookbook, a blowgun, a planchette, the scabbard, the nesting dolls, the arrows, which I did keep the arrows. The Battle Chef stuff, I remember giving that away. The flail. Did anybody take the flail?
I believe Chantry did, or one of the
Chantry-
one of the barbarians did. That or Eric the cleric.
Chantry was a sorcerer, but
I
okay.
could not
Anybody
use a
get me?
flail, actually.
Not Chantry.
Chandrian?
Chandrian. Sorry, I can't fucking read.
Just call him the hammer.
I'm not gonna call him the hammer.
When it's clearly the anvil, okay? It's clearly the anvil.
You large
No, I
anvil
did-
individual. Come here, sir. Come here.
I didn't need the flail, but the viper sheath I'll take.
That's fine.
I guarantee Eric the cleric is gonna take the cookbook.
If our, omniscient, omnipresent,
Man,
God
my face
figure
really itches right now. It's just
ever
itchy.
puts it into our
so,
receptacle of
so
knowledge,
itchy right now. God.
then yes, I think Eric would take it for sure. He has already claimed the pauldrons as well, though, because it is a set bonus with stuff he already has.
I gotta go look up what the fuck this cookbook is. Y'all keep going. Do your thing. Somebody fucking RP some shit. Go. Gail, what is Gail doing?
What is Gail always doing?
Well, make it more interesting. You know what? You have an appointment.
What
Oh,
is
do I?
Gail always doing?
That's none of your business. HIPAA's a thing, buddy. I have an appointment.
But because we're on the boat, it's called Shippa.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Who's that knocking on my door?
You had an appointment for Chandrian, so if he didn't remember it, you'd probably go get him, right?
No, because then I can charge him a no-show fee.
Jesus Christ.
I know how this works.
You're on a ship. It doesn't work that way.
They're always showing up like on the poop deck.
But we know Chandrian would show up 15 minutes early.
Probably.
I mean, Chandrian would show up just to make sure that you actually woke up. You missed our appointment.
Oh. Damn. Hubby's got spice already. Shit.
I
I'm so here for it.
So Chandrian will go knock on the door to go double check on his hugging buddy.
Oh, open up the office. Oh, hi. I know it's a day late, but thanks for being on time to your appointment.
I just wanted to come check on you. It's been 4 days.
4? Oopsie.
What?
You,
4?
I thought we said it was like 3 days last time.
Ah, that's kind of true. I
And then
reckon
we had a
y'all
whole
took
thing go-
y'all took like a 40-hour nap. 40.
Yeah.
2 days.
372. My bad. Keep going.
So Chandrian is going to have a big like pitcher of water, not salt water, fresh water. You probably should drink something. You slept for a very long time. Are you okay?
I'm good. But you have an appointment.
Well, I'm more worried about you. We all woke up yesterday. Now
Yeah,
it's
but
today.
I want to help you. So let's not worry about me. Let's worry about you. Come on in.
Well, you drink water and
I'll drink
we
water.
can
You
have our-
talk.
Okay. So Chandrian will come in, find like a nice comfortable spot to sit down, and he'll just kind of flump into it. I imagine the wooden planks or whatever this chair is made of are probably squeaking a little bit. I had a weird dream, and I'm not quite sure how to process it.
You said you had a weird dream?
Yes, there was a glowing figure that everybody else on the ship is telling me his name was Kynan. He told me that he manipulated time and events to bring me here so that I might find my place, my family upon the ship. But life was so hard before I got here. I'm not sure whether to appreciate it because things are much better now, or if I should be angry that if he had that much control over my life, why he didn't make things better sooner.
You saw my dad?
He was your. I'm sorry. I, 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 I didn't. I'm sorry. Yes.
Well, if he did it the way that he did it for a reason. It wasn't to hurt you in any way.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot to take in.
He said my strength would be needed, that I was here to protect, which growing up is all I ever wanted to do.
And what made you want to protect others?
It's what I was taught growing up amongst the monks. They told me a life well lived was one in which you serve others, people that you keep close to you. But my anger and my rage, I never fit in. And there were lines that I crossed. They didn't force me to leave, but I never felt completely welcome.
So it sounds like you left because even though you wanted to follow their teachings, you didn't feel like you truly belonged there.
I felt like there was a place for me there, but I didn't feel like I could live up to their expectations. I felt like where they sought peace, all I brought was rage.
And where do you think that rage comes from?
It's always been a part of me. I mean, you've seen it when people I care about are in danger, when action must be taken, it bubbles up and boils over. And I mean, I get big, stronger. It's helped me, but so hard to control.
And I think that's a good goal for us to start. Damn it. Yeah, we can have our treatment goal be to control that anger, focus it, because anger is a normal and healthy emotion to have. But if it's wild, it's not very good for others around you. So we can work through it.
It's never caused harm to others around me. Just me. I feel exhausted, drained out when the anger leaves. And I feel as though I am violating everything I grew up being taught.
Well, I think one thing that we're going to need to start looking at is how you grew up, and the things that you experience now aren't necessarily going to be intertwined.
The world is a much bigger place than the cloister or the chantry I grew up in. My experiences have certainly taught me that.
All right. So, just because this is our first session, we got a lot that you unloaded there, and it's a good start. I do have some initial evaluation questions I have to get through.
All right. We're going to retcon over the typical like inpatient questions. We're not going to violate SHPA today. So,
But I want to hear the sauciness. Okay,
oh, that's not
fine.
okay. Basic inpatient questions are not. That's not where the sauce is.
Okay.
This is
Have
kind
you
of
had
It-
any?
it's where
this
the
is kind
snow
of where the
burn
sauce
is.
is.
It's where the
Fine,
snow burn
fine.
is.
Go for it.
How would you rate your current sleeping habits? Poor, unsatisfactory, satisfactory, good, or very good?
I mean, I slept for 2 days. That's good. That's good, yes. 2 days? 3 days?
Well,
Long time.
So there is a thing with sleep where there's too much isn't good for you. You're looking for the nice like 6 to 9 hour window. Stop, Brian. How many times per week do you generally exercise?
Every day.
Okay.
These don't happen by accident.
You can put those away. Sorry, got distracted. What has your appetite been lately? Has that been eating
I'm
less, more?
ravenous all the time.
Okay. Are you currently experiencing any chronic pain?
Chandrian's just gonna kind of poke all over. No. Nothing hurts.
Have you ever experienced sadness, grief, or depression for an extended period?
Yes.
Just so anybody watching knows, this is not an actual therapy session.
I kind of feel like I'm back at the ward, but whatever.
Have you had excessive anxiety, panic attacks, or any phobias?
No, I am the phobia for other things.
Are you afraid of
I
water?
mean, I don't like to swim.
Okay. Can I be 100% honest with you as a friend, not as a therapist?
Yes.
We're on a boat.
Yes.
We're surrounded by water.
Yes.
You might have to swim.
Well, that's why we have smaller boats. I go
Okay.
from big boat to smaller boats. Don't have to swim.
You know what? That's okay. Have you experienced any mania? So euphoria, rapid speech, risky or impulsive acts.
When I am angry, I am all of those things.
Okay. Any hallucinations or delusions?
Somebody I never met came to me in my dreams. Does that count?
Okay. Well, that one's just kind of par for the course for this group, so we're gonna go ahead and say no. Are you currently in a relationship?
I have my hugging buddy. And I have a family amongst this crew.
How would you rate your relationship with your hugging buddy on a scale of 1 to 10?
It's been 4 days and I haven't gotten a hug. So 6 minus 1 for every non-hugging day.
Gail will give you a hug.
We're at a 10. We're at a 10. And Chandrian is just gonna kind of engulf him and pick him up into a big bear hug.
All right. And then I have one more question before I can let you go. Are you currently experiencing any homicidal thoughts?
Nobody is threatening the crew, so no. But the day is still young.
Okay. Well, I'm very, very glad that you're doing okay. And we're going to work through this anger. And I'll give you a big hug.
Chandrian's shoulders are going to kind of relax and he's going to look a lot more at ease than he did, one, walking in being concerned about Gale not drinking water for 4 days, and two, the strain of the emotional conversation. You can just kind of see it drain away.
You can be vulnerable with me. I'm not going to share anything with anyone. It's you and me.
Thank you. There's only one other I have ever felt this safe with.
As I give him one more hug, I'm going to cast guidance on him. Just to give him a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling.
I think at that, Chandrian is going to head to the galley and get a snack before he stands his next watch.
All right. So I don't know if we got any actual sauce from the intake questions, but God knows our private game chat was lighting the fuck up, and now I'm party to it. Y'all just corrupted my mind for the night. Good job. All right, so we're gonna go back up to the upper deck. Ellie's still just kind of sitting there looking out over the railing at the seas to come. Give me a D100 roll, if you would.
$44.
44. All right, I got. Oh man, I lost my thing. Hold on. I need to organize my notes better. All right, 44. It's just kind of generally cloudy, not really not rain, just overcast, and just kind of gray. It's a little chill on the ocean's breeze. Marilla, as you're kind of walking the deck, Taylor, you need to change. I just realized you got your wrong information on there, Taylor.
Oh fuck, I do. God
Yep.
damn. So bad.
That's why Ken's confused.
No,
It's
that's
all right.
why that's also
So-
probably why I'm confused. So I am changing that right now.
There we go. But
God.
as
brain is
Marella, not Samara,
Not Samara,
as
Morella.
Marella is walking the deck, walking down the stairs, just checking over her boat. The waves kick up a little bit. Give me a deck save real quick
Okay.
with disadvantage.
Fine. Is this for the ship or for me?
It's for you.
Okay. Oh, God damn it. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me put in my name first. Boop. All right. First one was a 19. Second one is a 14 plus for Dex. Give me a moment. 14 plus 4 for a 18.
18. All right, so you do avoid falling directly on your face, but you
Yay.
fall into another face.
God damn
As
it.
Ellie just kind of turns around and instinctively just kind of grabs you, and you guys are now sitting there nose to nose. Noses touching.
Morella kind of just sits there and she just looks at Ellie for a moment. You kind of watch for a moment as her face relaxes before she immediately regains her composure again and actually evens and odds.
Odds.
All right. 16. Morella completely regains her composure again and and she puts a hand on Ellie's shoulder and she goes, so is everything going good with the cruise now? I'm sorry, I've been a little bit preoccupied.
Ellie's just gonna ignore the question completely for a second. I'm starting to think you're doing this on purpose every day.
I am very much not trying to do this on purpose. Things have just been. I've been under a lot of stress as of late, and she is gonna kind of. You kind of see a slight blush cross her face as she just kind of turns around and tries to avoid Ellie at this point. She goes, "Thank you for making sure the crew is staying in place." She is actively trying not to engage with her because she knows it is just gonna be a little bit of a nightmare for her.
Ellie would just let her go. Just do her little salute that she normally does.
And Morella will return the same salute, but she is gonna have like that kind of bit of a gleam in her eyes where she is just kind of like, I liked her nighttime snuggles.
Aw. All right. So now I have done the shipping for the day. Are there any other conversations that y'all want to be had in this moment? No? Going once? Going twice? All right, whoever's in charge of navigation, give me a survival check, we'll call it. And if you are proficient with the navigation tools, then you can add your proficiency bonus.
I will gladly help with those.
What additional damage?
I think is that Ellie's thing?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't remember.
I thought navigation was Morel's thing.
All right.
Under their this is the difficulty we had last time. Under their titles, Ellie is supposed to be in charge of navigation, but I said I only wanted to be on this stupid ass ship if I could navigate. So
you
So
can
what can I-
navigate. Go for it.
but yeah, I'm worth.
Can Ellie give the help action?
Would you say survival?
Yeah.
That is actually a 13. It doesn't add my other bonus. That's 13.
Okay, and that's with your proficiency bonus or no? Because you're proficient with navigator's tools, right?
Which is +2.
Okay, so 15? Or the 13 was with the
13.
+2? Okay. So you guys sail. It takes you guys a little bit longer to get back, even with the magic sails, as Morel kind of is getting back used to the navigator's table, and he kind of leads you guys slightly astray. But a couple days go by, you guys run into a little light rain, nothing major. But then you do see the town of Beshbakra coming into view over the after a couple days, few days. We'll save the rolls getting into harbor, and we'll just say that you guys pull into the harbor. You guys dock just fine. You guys have some stuffs to do, some specific stuffs to do. Who remembers what that is? Because I don't think Taylor does.
I'm guessing reporting back to those motherfuckers who
Yes.
yeah. I thought that was the whole mission this whole time, was reporting
It
back
was.
to those bitches and spiting them and throwing
Biting them.
rebellion.
All right. So, who are you taking with you back to the Council of Tides as you guys are?
Considering Morel refuses to leave the ship, unless by his own standards, she would not ask Morel. She probably would ask him to keep an eye on the ship. He would be in charge while Ellie and Gale are away with Morella. Again, that is who she showed up with last time, so that's who she's going to show up with again. The one thing she wants to show is consistency, and especially when it comes to those who she entrusts. And she also knows that Ellie and Gale will be able to back her up and try their best to present the type of case that they are trying to before the council.
Okay. So it is Ellie, Morella, and Gail going to the Council of Tides. So you guys go there, and there's my notes. You guys do find that the council tower is open, as it usually is, during the day anyway. And they do tell you that the Tide Mistress is in. You guys walk up into the familiar council room that you were in before, but you notice that 2 of the council members are gone.
Which
You
one?
guys, you notice that basically the 2 that you don't like are not there.
Interesting. Okay, continue.
But you do see the tiefling Tide Mistress is there, as well as the rather alluring looking half elf female, and I'll be honest, the twink looking half elf male are both there.
Morella is currently dressed in her battle gown and which kind of represents like a captain's robe with like a mix of a dress along with her long her skirt that kind of just flows past her knees enough to keep her able to run. And there's also leather straps that she keeps to keep the skirt hiked up as well in order for her to move properly and be efficient. She will be keeping those hiked up, not only for Madam What's-Her-Face, who also wanted things, but on top of the fact that she tries to run as efficiently as she possibly can as a captain of a efficient crew.
Okay.
She does not care if they want to think her informal of this. She is here to represent efficiency in what she is capable of doing, not in trying to put on a front.
Okay. So as you kind of walk in there, they do take notice, and the Tide Mistress does kind of look at you and just says, Morella, it is good to see from you. We were starting to get worried about you.
What, were you not expecting me back?
You never do know.
The sea takes what it wants and spits out what it does not need, or maybe needs further. That is why I'm here. There's something very much going on aside from what many would consider a harpy problem.
Harpies.
That is what I thought was the original issue here. We found shipwrecks of what is it? The Emerald.
The Emerald Empress?
Yeah, the Emerald Empress. That's what we found the shipwreck of, correct?
Yes, you did find that, and then you did find the parts of the wreck of the Serenade, I believe, or no, the Starfall.
Yes.
The Starfall.
So upon mentioning the Emerald Empress, she will. Well, upon collecting the remains of the Emerald Empress, I was confronted by some Triton folk, merfolk, people of the ocean. As we are sailors, we are very much aware of how territorial they can be. They had found salvation in this shell of a ship. There was nothing left, and I can tell you that from my inspection. But I have you this, and I will say she probably would have Gail or Ellie carrying in like the nameplate to throw in front of the council. We first thought that it was going to be harpies because that is who attacked us upon the first situations. But upon the second shipwreck of which we encountered, there's one thing that I've noticed. The mention of a green-eyed man. Was it the black ship? Or the ship with the black sails?
Are you what are you asking about in particular? The guy who,
The ghost ship as to what it was called in particular by the merfolk. And she did
yes.
get to talk to them, so I hope that you would. I can roll a history check if you would like me to, but I hope you would allow Marilla to remember them. I just didn't.
No, it is. They just called it. I believe they called it the dead ship.
Dead
and
ship.
That's all they really referred to it as.
They called it the dead ship, and it was the Emerald Empress, correct? That we witnessed the necromancy on.
Yeah.
It was on the Emerald Empress that we found a sail wrapped around the base of its mast. As we unfolded it, thinking maybe we could ravage what was left of it, barely any. No men were to be found without a head. And then as we unrolled those sails, what we saw was one of the most abominable representations of necromancy I've ever witnessed in my life. Captain, what was the dwarf's name, or the halfling's name?
Tenmouse.
Tenmouse. Captain Tenmouse, he is no more. In fact, he has been worse than no more. He was made into a tool to intimidate whoever this individual is, and it seems that he is out for blood for all who are on the sea. The reason I could not, and she will take out the second piece to prove witness of the second wreckage that they found, that probably would be in Gale's hands. I was not able to receive the third one, but at the time that we made it to Blackwater, we looked out and we saw there was nothing but destruction left. Emptiness. There's something dark on the horizon, and I don't think harpies are your problem. I came back here because I figured it would be better that you know this situation instead of me putting my crew on the line like a reckless individual. So, I came back with your answers of what you are seeking. Are you willing to investigate it, or you will ignore it like you do everything else?
We ignore nothing, but you are bringing us fairy tales, is what you bring us. And
Fairy tales. So what exactly is these fairy tales you speak of? Because I've seen these fairy tales before my very eyes. These fairy tales of what took my father. I have witnessed it. I have most of my crew who have witnessed it. And when I am saying it is no longer just happening to someone like as me, and I know that Kanan is not in the most favorable of captains. Trust me, I am very much aware of that. We are not really considered what one would consider pirates. We do not wreckage and pillage people that are easy targets from time to time. And I understand there is sort of a diplomacy when it comes to piracy, but I understand there is very much a lack of it as well. So, I understand as to why a lot of your council did not appreciate what Kynan had to offer, especially when it came to empowering those who needed it the most. But when I tell you that this is not just happening to Kynan and his, what you would say, Nepo baby crew, which is not of the sorts I've earned the fucking title I hold. So don't you dare fucking say otherwise. And I will continue to do so until I draw my last breath when it comes to protecting my crew and also the world that Kynan tried to protect before he died. Now, when I tell you, if you want to wait around until things start affecting you and the peoples you care about, fine, go ahead. We will do things on our own accord. But if you want to sit here and say that we are just fucking speaking fantasies, I cannot wait to watch you burn.
so She
I will do an
stands.
intimidation or a persuasion check if you would allow it.
Go for it.
I'm good at persuasion. This is probably going to be a bad fucking call for me, but persuasion or performance.
It is up to you what you are trying to do right now. If you are putting on a performance, like you're trying to make it over the top, then feel free to go with
So
it.
here's the thing, like she is being over the top, but I feel like she is very much trying to urge persuasion than she is performance.
And go with persuasion, darling.
As much as performance is 2 points higher, I feel she is trying to persuade these people. She's not trying to put on an act. This is
Beautiful.
fucking serious. This is super serial.
Super serious.
Oh, right. That is a fucking 17 plus 5 for a 22. Dirty girl 22. Peace out.
So, as you give her this impassioned speech, you see her just kind of like look up from these like half moon spectacles that she then kind of takes off and places gently on the table. And she takes this book that she was looking over that looks to be a ledger of some sort. And she just kind of quietly closes it. And she stands up, and you kind of get, for the first time, because she was sitting the entire last time that you met her. She is significantly taller than you thought she was, and she kind of steps around the table, and
Morella doesn't fucking stir. She looks her dead in the eyes. She doesn't matter how small she
oh,
is.
you do. Yay.
She's looking her dead in the fucking eyes.
Give me a charisma save.
All right. God damn it. Phone. Don't be falling like that. Don't be putting that juju on me right now. No, 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 no. You
That
said
one
a
coming
charisma
up.
save, correct?
Yep.
Beautiful. That will be a 16 plus 5 for a 21.
A 21. Okay.
Can I guidance myself?
Sure.
Actually, no, I didn't make the call beforehand. I'm going to live with what I have.
So, with a 21, you are not outright frightened. But you do feel that bravado that you have slightly shaken for the first time in a while as you look into her eyes and you see this just kind of bluish flame kind of thing that's burning pretty passionately. As she kind of steps up and looks at you and kind of steps up, does one of those like shoulder to shoulder things, but she's standing like right at your side.
Morella's tattoos, the only thing you see is her tattoos start to immensely glow. And it's one of her ways of which there is a very hard way for Morella to lie because her body will always react in a certain way to where she's not good at deceiving people. She can if she wants to, but when it comes to how passionate she is about something, she cannot deceive people. And she is trying her best to be ultimately honest at this point. And there is a back and a drive of passion behind this, if that makes any importance in this scenario of her explaining, this is why I brought my crew back, because this crew is either going to be wiped out or you guys are going to be fucking blindsided if no one came back to tell you.
Got it. So she just kind of sits there and kind of as an aside, like an undertone, so that you're hearing it more than anybody else. In fact, I'd say you're the only one that hears it, but she sits there and says, don't you presume to tell me what I feel. You sit there telling me that I look down on Kynan for some reason. I did no such thing. I found his passion and what he went for to be quite admirable, and his loss was a great one. I considered him a friend. And as for this information that you bring me no proof. You bring me nothing more than your hearsay. How am I to muster a response when you bring no tangible proof? This is not the discussion. I am hearing what you are saying, but you are not bringing me any proof to bring to the other captains.
Then what did you want me to bring? The 2 full wrecked ships back to you?
You brought me proof that there were ships that have sank, and this is regrettable, but you
Ellie,
bring these to me.
my friend within you, Ellie. Do you you got a few beaks to cough up. On top of that, I can't remember. We had gotten something in particular.
You guys got parts of harpies, which they take, and she will sit there and say the harpies are not uncommon out there. We know that they are out there. Thank you for warning us that they were out there.
They're
Did you
gone now. We
eliminate
took
them?
care of them. Don't worry about them. That's
Good.
not what you need to worry about. If
And
you are a fucking fool to think that if I was able to bring back proof of the 3rd ship, I would have done so, but not without endangering my crew. Do you think me foolish? I am absolutely appalled. So I come back here warning you guys of an omen that is on the horizon, and you laugh at my face. Kynan would be so disappointed in you. He very much would.
Kynan would understand that you bring no tangible proof.
This is what took Kynan.
I understand that, but what proof do you
Do
have
you
to show the
really?
captains?
It sounds like you don't.
Morella, you are quite young, so I'm going to forgive your eagerness. But if I were to call the rest of the captains to a council to say that we must take care of this, what proof do you have? Do you have any physical proof?
You know what? Fine. If this is not enough proof for you, me coming back here and telling you what is going on after the destruction of 2 of the most well-known pirate ships on the 7 seas, or however many seas that we have in this world.
7 sounds like a good number. Let's go with that.
And when I come and tell you that Blackwater is completely devastated to nothing but ash, you know what? Go ahead, believe what you want. I will make sure that my crew is going to do what they can. If you
I'm
wish
not
to
going
hunt
to
us
say
down,
whether I
I'm telling
believe
you
you
right
or
now,
not.
you will have bigger things to deal with. Now, you either have somebody on your team that you are willing to take on that could possibly even give you a start of information as to what is going on, as to the destruction that is coming towards us. Then I would suggest you maybe listen and take an ear, as you would for Kynan. But if you do not think that the children that he raised as his own would not see and find the same desperation and passion as he has all these years, all of his career as a pirate, as a person who has fought for so much, fine. Let the world fall. Let it burn. I will wait for you to come calling back and asking for our help. We'll be doing what we can. We don't need you. Fuck you.
You don't need us, you say.
Then just arrest me right here.
What
Because
is
it's not
going to
stop
stop?
them to try to say and try to do in order to prevent this from happening. If you want to consider me a fucking criminal for trying to prevent the world from crumbling apart, from it being turned to ashes, so fucking be it. I am here. I am standing my ground and telling you. I could not bring as much proof back as I could. Would you rather me bring back the hundreds of bodies that we found? The decapitated heads that we found at the base of a fucking staff with a living individual, not even alive. He was living through the death in the voice of the man who wants us all to be ash. Fine. Live with your fucking choice. I'm either going to back away now, or you decide to make a decision here and now. Or arrest me. Put me in cuffs. I don't fucking care. Because I'm not going to stop what is happening, and you cannot stop me. Kynan will do the same.
So, Gale,
Mm-hmm.
And this is not like Morella. She is angry.
Mistress Goliath looks at you. And she just says, is she always this eager to leap before she looks? To speak before she listens? Captain Morella, you did the task that was given to you, which grants you access to the Brethren. You have been through much lately, so I am going to
I don't need your
choose
pity.
patience.
I don't need your pity.
I strongly suggest you stop talking right now and you start listening, little one.
Fine. Then speak something worthy of me listening to.
Your sister is bold, Gale.
That she is.
What will you do if the Coral Crown comes for you? Will you call on the Brethren? If you are not with them, they shall not answer. What will you do then? It matters not. If Blackheart sails the seas again, and you are alone, what are you going to do then? Again, maybe you should listen to my words before you start making accusations. If you come to this group and you want to make...
were already made before I could even have a chance to prove myself.
If you wish for the Brethren to take any action on this information that you bring, you have to bring proof. Right now, all they have is the hearsay of your crew. This is not enough. It is enough to get my attention, this is true. But what will you do if Holdar was here? If Zuhad was here?
I would tell him the same thing I told you. Now
And
tell
it would
me.
be a hard...
Tell me, are you going to put me in handcuffs? Or are you going to try and
What
figure
would
out
I put you in
what's going
handcuffs
on?
for? It is either that you are going to leave as part of the Brethren or you are not. This is up to you.
Well, I'm pretty sure. The Brethren does not like things being done without outside their regulations. I do know that. I've learned that very well. So that is why I'm telling you here and now. Are you going to just put me in handcuffs before I decide to do things that you deem
You
unworthy?
can do as you wish. You have gained access to the Brethren. I suggest you go now, before your tongue gets any hotter, and you regret what is said.
Morella just leans in. My tongue has always been hot. Why do you think I make the lyrics I sing today? Why do you think I speak the words I speak now? I will never size myself down for anybody. I will never cool my rage for anyone, especially when it comes to the world at stake. So you guys can either learn to chew or you can choke on it. Do you understand me? I'm not scared of
Not
you.
even a little bit.
Adorable.
Go now, Morella, and do with your crew as you wish, under the flag of the Brethren.
Thank you for your approval.
Mm.
We will give you reports and proof as soon as possible, and I will guarantee you we have much more than just a war on our hands. This is something far worse. This is death and plague coming on the horizon. And we will see a lot of death. But may us hope that we can get along and fight hand in hand, correct?
She just kind of partially smiles and nods.
With that, Marilla is satisfied. She kind of straightens herself out, brushes herself off. Thank you very much for taking us as your audience. We will do our best to represent the Brethren as best we can. And we will also do our best to make sure that it does not burn. We will be coming back to you with more information. Is there any other missions or anything that has been very familiar to the ones that we have been on that you think may somehow be connected to this situation that we could possibly pursue in order for us to encourage this ideas that we have is to what is happening? Enforce. Sorry, that's the better word. Not encourage. Scratch that.
We don't have anything for you right now. I suggest you take to the seas and see what the gods provide.
We will start with Blackwater. But I will say, is there anything that we can do to keep in oncoming connections with you? Just to let you know what is going on. Would you be my main line of connection, or would you have one of your ambassadors?
The pirate outposts are everywhere, and they all have a line back to me, so, and the other members of the court, so.
I'm telling you, though, I do not trust a grapevine when it comes to a situation like this. So I'm asking you, with something as desperate as this, to where towns could be completely wiped out, is there a way that we can directly contact you if there is absolute desperation? For emergencies, as one would say.
There are, I just don't remember the name of it. You might have to go digging into your characters. The little note thing that Morella had, or Ayla had. That is what she gives you. She gives you this piece of paper and says, if you have urgent need to get to me directly, you write whatever it is on this note, on this parchment, and it will come to me straight away. Not through the grapevine, as you say.
Morella would take the sheet of paper and the pen. She would start it off by signing her authentic signature, and then continue with that, just so they know that when she signs off, because she is always going to sign off on everything that she sends, so they know what her signature very particularly looks like in case anybody else gets a hold of this paper.
Okay.
And with that, she will just turn to the council. Again, thank you very much for giving me your time. I will not apologize for my brutheness, but I do apologize for how you feel about it. But I hope gives you time to think about what is going on, because I'm telling you, there is something coming, and we should be absolutely terrified and be prepared for it. With that, I will take my leave. Thank you. And she will then turn to Ellie, turn to Gale. Let us go. And head back to the ship.
I'm gonna be the last to walk out, and I'm just gonna like mouth, "I'm sorry."
So, as Morella and Ellie leave out the council chambers, as you go to say that, you do see that the Tide Mistress is standing there, and she kind of motions you to come closer.
Okay.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be
Now,
suspicious.
Gail, I understand that you have lost your father recently and that she is taking on a lot as being a captain. But I want to make something undeniably clear to you. Convince your sister to keep a more level head when she comes in this chamber, because if she talks to us like that again, her life shall be forfeit.
Bring it on.
Okay. Noted. Yeah, I will.
When you live outside of the laws of these nations around us, you are labeled as one of two things, and that's you are either a pirate under the Brethren, or you are one of the Reavers, or the Raiders. If you become one of the outsiders, one of the Raiders, the Reavers as they say, either way, then you get the full brunt of the brethren and the full brunt of the coral crown on you. This is not something that you want, because most people that get that they do not walk away. And if you notice, when you guys take on various Reaver groups, they are not normally that prosperous. They don't have much. Are you understanding what I am saying?
Yeah.
Your sister is passionate, but she must control her mouth, or it will get her into no small amount of trouble. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Good. May the seas be favorable to you.
And to you as well.
And she kind of tucks just a little note into your pocket and sends you on your way.
Okay.
All right, so you guys are heading back to the ship, yeah?
Yeah, as Morella's kind of cleaning up the furballs behind Ellie. Only
Wait,
in
what?
the hallway, though. She wouldn't do it in front of the council. It's just, she's like, Ellie, come on. We need to work on this, okay? We need to make sure you expel the hairballs before you go and meet the council. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Let's get our shit together. We got this.
I'll work on it.
Maybe try to stop eating cats if you can help it. And she's gonna like just kind of gently grab Ellie's face, and she's gonna kind of look into their eyes and goes, it's you and that. I see you. Stop eating cats.
No, that time I let him, that cat was being an asshole. I told him he could eat the assholes.
I do not know the difference between asshole cats and normal
I
cats.
like eating pussies and assholes!
And you just kind of see Morella go red as she just keeps walking. She goes,
What? What she told me to say.
We are going back to this ship.
I have one thing. I will meet you there, but I have one thing I need to do before I get back on the ship.
Why did you tell me to say that when she looked at me weird when I said it?
Morella's just kind of look at her. She goes, "Is everything okay?"
Yeah.
Looked at me weird.
Will you get out of here? She like puts her face back to her face.
She called me weird. Shall we
You
eat her
are
now?
weird. Definitely not.
You've thought about it before. Or is that not the same thing?
Are you sure that's not your thoughts?
It might be.
Exactly. So you need to keep it in my pants. You hear me?
Fine.
Thank you.
I don't know what that means.
That's
but
fine. You don't wear pants. I wear pants. She's just like awkwardly like trying to get Morella to like.
Does she say
back
this
away.
out loud? Because Morella's just like, well, Ellie, of course you wear pants.
Yes. She's 100% talking out loud.
Aren't you wearing a dress? Anyway.
Morella's wearing a dress. I don't know what Ellie's wearing, but
Roll for pants!
roll for pants! Pants or skirt, evens or odds.
Okay, I'm definitely wearing a skirt.
Your
But it's
balls
fine.
hang low
Anyway.
as they wobble to
No, I've
you.
seen you
Anyway,
wear pants before, Ellie. What do you? Is that thing arguing with you again?
It has a mind of its own, so it's like constantly talking to me. I promise it's a good thing. We've never actually had that talk, but
I'm just saying
we
you
will.
thought
We
about
will.
eating her before.
I
I've
think
heard that
was
thought
you.
in your head.
I think you put that thought in my head.
I did no such thing.
So okay, Ellie, I will tell you right now. We do not need to resort to eating the crewmates now. We have plenty of rations, and tell your buddy to please just lay off on the cats. We will up our budget for a bit to get some extra meat for your friends there.
Okay, but if the cat starts bullying another cat, is that okay? Because that other cat was really, really mean.
I am not the one who is in charge of the cats, Ellie. You would need to ask the chef for that situation. You will need to ask Eric, because he is the one who is what is it we call it? The cat wrangler. Yes.
See, pussy right there.
Okay, I'll go talk to him. I was just hoping I could okay it with you first, because then I didn't have to ask about it. And she's like checking to make sure there's no cat.
The
or,
only
like,
thing
"Ugh."
The last thing I want is any sort of conflict on the ship. I feel fucking every single bit of it. Trust me. Anyway, when it comes to Eric, you will have to contact him when it comes to handling. And granted, we are probably going to have quite a few litters on this ship. There is no such thing as kitty contraception when it comes to
Kitty nuggets.
No! I'm sorry, the horror just hit me. Oh my god, no, not the kitty nuggets.
Never.
Never.
But they're so
never.
tender.
No. Like we had mentioned.
I will. If he actually says that, I will totally slap myself.
Like we had mentioned beforehand, it will be like the dire wolves in Game of Thrones. We all get a kitty, and they be our little battle kitties. And it's gonna hurt even more. But
Nom 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 nom.
no.
Anyway,
You are not allowed to eat the kittens, because if anything, the kittens are going to be the ones that we can at least train to take care of the mice on this ship. We
I
do
am gonna
need
say
cats
this
on-
above
we need
game
cats
right
on this
now.
ship. You understand me, little wavy dude in my quartermaster?
I'm gonna say this.
Don't call him little.
Big wavy dude in my quartermaster.
I am not going to make you make a wisdom save right now because we're going to keep it not offensive. But I will say this above game to everybody. There is going to be no rolling for battle kitties. No.
Why we can't have
Not
battle
doing-
kitties?
No!
What
Morel
about
already has a battle
birdies?
crab. That is as far as we are going.
It's not Morella that has a battle crab.
I
That's
said
Morel.
Morel.
Yeah,
I
and
said
I have
Morel.
a not really a battle squish, but it's like a battle mod.
Squish that you
That
only
battle-
hope
battle
is still
monkey?
alive because you haven't given him any kind of attention.
He
lately.
eats anything he wants
Anyway.
in my pockets.
Battle Jangles.
She always, I will say, like, she always keeps him in his pouch, and in that pouch, she always makes sure that any scrap food that she has, she puts it in there. She does feed little dude. It's just, there's a lot more things to be concerned about than a little ball of moss at the moment.
Maybe it's a bigger ball of moss that's like ready to start eating your ship. You don't know. You haven't checked on him.
Don't fucking
Anyway,
me.
on that note, we're gonna take a break right now, and then we're gonna come back. You guys back on the ship, be ready because I'm gonna find out exactly what y'all are doing.
I hate all of
So- I love this.
Oh,
game.
so
All
do
right.
we pass through the front foyer, get like our paperwork for like the Brotherhood or whatever the fuck, and
Brethren.
do we have like a license plate that we put on the back, or like
Absolutely, yes, you do.
It's a flag.
is it a license plate, or is it like a particular flag that we fly under our other flag, or is it just like a license plate we stick on the back, and
It's
then
a-
like you gotta get close and you're like, oh nope, it's part of the Brethren, let's go.
I don't know how to respond.
I'm
to
talking
that.
mad shit right now. I'm so sorry.
All right, we are going to be back. Give us 5 minutes for bio breaks for everybody, and we will be back. Where's my intermission one? There it is. All right, we will see you guys back in 5 minutes.
This is fucking great.
right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. I'm getting messages now. That's yes, Talon. That was Selkie. Fucking yes. Okay. Sure. All right. But anyway, Ken, I messaged you. Did you get me? Did you get that? Old Ken? Yes, you did, because you were typing something back. I don't know what that means. You're good? You're good with that? Okay.
We haven't talked about anything.
No, I want you to go off the cuff, and I want you to lead me. I want you to lead me down a road with it. Take me where you want me to go.
I don't want to go anywhere.
Jesus Christ, Ken! I'm fucking.
I'm third fucking level, bro. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I want to know. All right, so where we're gonna pick up for you guys, because we totally know what we're doing. Not really. I'm a terrible DM. I just pretend really good, and I like improv all of this and keep all of these people completely just believing my bullshit is what it is. But no. So before break, we went there. Morella, Ellie, and Gail went to the Council of Tides. Morella went completely unhinged off in a direction I was struggling to keep up with.
They
but
would
that's
not
okay.
listen to her. Even
I
with
think
the
not
master's
listening was a thing that was pretty consistent. But anyway, it's all good. I love my interactions with you anyway, Taylor. It's interesting. But what we're going to do now before we get back to Ellie and what she's going to do in town, because we are going to get to that. But I want to go to those on the ship. I want to get a little, if you guys wouldn't mind helping me paint a picture for the audience that's watching. I just want to know a little bit about what's going on in each of your heads. So we'll start with, because one of them is finishing eating, I think, maybe. I don't know. But we're gonna go New Ken first. New Ken, you're there, you're toiling in your workbench. I just got fingered.
I apologize. My wife chose that moment.
You should apologize for fingering me.
The most action you'll get out of me, dude. That's okay.
But anyway.
So Ubriel's been he's been hanging out at his workbench. He's been, trying to tinker here and tinker there, do a little bit of work on things, keep the ship looking good. He's been trying to figure out if there's any way he can like do a little like lightweight smelting, because we have a lot of bar, like we got a lot of metal, but like if he can get everything ready with all the metal we got.
By the way, you
like
can let
vintage
your
gold.
wife and friends know that they are now officially, it is canon. They are the voices of your henchmen that are working down in your workbench with you. That is who we are hearing talking in the background.
Yeah, that's a Goliath and the kobold and
Yep.
The dwarf. They're just hanging out here, doing their thing.
Doing their thing.
Help me get stuff taken care of.
There you
so they do
go.
a good job. So yeah, we've been prepping the metal, trying to get the alloys just right, because I don't have
Yep.
like a full blown smelting furnace, but we can do a little pot smelter. Because we got some fire magic for that. That's pretty good. Works out pretty all right. But yeah, no, it's hard. It's hard to do this without I miss my old workshop on Pramana. That was a good
Okay.
place. We liked it. But anyway, so yeah, no, we've been prepping things, trying to get the alloys just right, get that brass going. We got plenty of zinc, we got plenty of copper.
Okay.
So yeah.
Make a intelligence save for me real quick. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm sticking with it.
Oh, that's not very pretty. That's a bad save. That's like a 7.
A 7?
Mm.
So I will say with that, as you just kind of keep coming back to the idea of smelting on a ship, it seems like a really great idea. Like you should 100% do that, is what you feel. Do you
Won't cause
see, as
any
you're sitting there
problems
thinking about it,
whatsoever.
no, like there is no reason that's jumping into your head as to why you shouldn't try
No
to smelt something
no-
on a ship without any
problem.
kind of actual forge or anything. Just
No
sure.
problems whatsoever.
Mhm.
Just a little bit at a time, you know.
Only good things will happen. All right, let's go to somebody we haven't heard from in a while, especially because they were gone last session. Eric. What is Eric doing in this moment, and what's going through Eric's head?
Well, Eric is doing what he normally does whenever we're in port, making things are stocked and secured, wondering where his cats have gone, but he has a sneaking suspicion he knows.
Only one of them is missing.
Sure, only one this time. There's only one last time too, but you know it adds up. But there's plenty, so it's fine. Yeah, no, he's probably in the galley, cataloging all the stuff that has been coming onto the ship, instructing his subordinates on, you know, the proper way to prepare certain things and making sure things were ready for when we put to sea again.
Okay. If you wouldn't mind for me, sir, if you could for me, I'm trying to find that one. All right. If you could roll a D6 for me.
A D6. That's a 5.
It's a 5.
It's a 5.
You do notice that there are like 5 new cats that are just like running around. And I will say, did you notice like there are an astoundingly low number of rats on this ship, like significantly less than you've ever had before.
The system is working.
Green eggs and cat.
He learned.
You know what? I'll say the kobold goes like walking by the galley and like seeing all the like new cats and all that, like, and he just kind of like sits there and like pulls himself up like over the little like counter into the galley, and you know, if you need a way to cook cats, I know how to. They're tasty.
So I've heard, but we are not so low on supplies that we need to worry about that yet.
Why do you have to be low on supplies? They're like, it's a good snack, especially if you get the little baby ones. They're like,
okay, so Eric is gonna find a spray bottle. He's gonna squirt the kobold.
fuck it. Just
On
saying.
this ship, cats are friends, not food.
Why can't
These
they
are-
be both?
These are utility cats. But once we get too many of them, maybe some concessions will be made. But for right now, these are utility cats.
Fine. Name. All right. Then we will go over to Morel. You don't you don't have to go super in depth, but what is Morel thinking about right now? What's going through his mind as he's manning the ship while Morella is away?
Well, I would get with Waslow and I would assign him the task of taking a map with the city names on it, and I want him to give me at least 6, 8, 10 sentences about each of the port cities on the map of the area, so that I don't have to continue to rely on the combined knowledge of the crew.
Okay. So you as the player are giving the DM homework, and I appreciate it. By next session, I'm saying this in front of everybody. By next session, I will give you at least a brief description of the port cities in this world.
And to be honest with you, I would, knowing the location of the island, I would not necessarily need to know everything and everywhere, but maybe like how a route would go normally around to the island.
Okay.
That kind of a thing. I don't really need to know like every single detail. If there's something that strikes his fancy about, oh, by the way,
yeah,
this is where you can pick up your certification and application to open a Busty Hippo or something like that. That's perfectly fine.
Valid. All right. So, with that, I am going to go back into... Well, now I forgot about Chandrian. That's my bad, Talon. What is Chandrian doing right now?
Since we've made port and Chandrian doesn't have any idea how long we're going to stay here, one of the first things he's going to do is go knock on Mr. Ubriel's door. Mr. Ubriel, may I come in?
Yeah. Yeah, come on in. I'm trying to do, we're just trying to get some stuff ready for, like, when it's time to make cannons. Like, 'cause I think that needs to happen soon. But I can stop it for a quick second. I mean, things will cool off pretty good. What's going on? How can I help?
I figured since we were at port, before we get underway again, I should probably do what the bosun's mate is supposed to do, and inspect how the ship is faring, being under sea for as long as we have. I don't.
I can have one of my. I'll have the dwarf take over here real quick, and we can go look. We can go look up the whole ship.
So as you say that, you hear the dwarf saying, "I'm just saying, you're not supposed to fucking smelt on a fucking ship."
We are in a situation here. There's plenty of seawater if we need it. Okay, it's gonna be all right. If you're not comfortable and you don't feel like you can do it, then just wait. Just wait. I'll take over when we get back. Just it'll cool. It'll cool off. It's fine. If anything bad happens, put some water on it. But you could call for an exchange. Go inspect the ship and see what we need to make.
I'm also wondering if you could make perhaps anything, because I don't like to swim so much, to help me breathe underwater for a short period of time, or swim a little bit better.
I actually do know how to make a cap of water breathing. I just I might have to have Mr. Jangles. I might have to have him go into rest mode for a while to make that work if you needed it. Are you planning on going to stop it?
I just want to inspect the caulking on the whole of the ship.
Oh, you need to go on there. Oh, okay. Well, are we gonna stay overnight? It takes me like a while to transfer an infusion.
Okay. So you're carrying it. No.
Like
Um,
a few hours. I got to do to make it switch over.
Perhaps we should wait for the captain to get back to make that decision.
Yeah. Why don't we inspect everything above the water line right now, and we can. I'll petition the captain to see if we can wait at least until tomorrow morning before we get underway.
Sounds excellent. Thank you.
Have a water breathing ready for you, okay? Yeah. We'll make sure we got plenty of rope for you too, so you won't go anywhere.
And you're gonna have a boat road.
I truly appreciate that.
If you participate, so
I mean, if you're uncomfortable with it, like, I'm fine going underwater. I don't have to. That's not a big deal.
They're my duties, and I know you are extremely busy.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I'll definitely take care of the cap for you tonight. Jangles is out for a little while, but that's okay. He takes a break every now and again. So it's okay. But yeah, you can do that. That's not a big deal.
severe wind.
All right, so we'd definitely like to.
Trying to think of what we could do, try and help you out. Yeah, we'll try and figure out some way we can ballast you so you stay close to the ship, so you don't like float away.
1, 2, 3 turns.
Or anything.
I mean, a rope should be fine as long as I can be tethered.
Oh yeah, we tether you to the dock. You won't go too far.
There are enough of my kind on board that I'm sure they could haul me in.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, we got plenty of Goliaths. Is there any? I mean, I know you're not like gonna lose control or anything. Get big underwater. I don't want you like get your hand in like a hole trying to pry a barnacle off or something, and then like you like have a moment where you get upset.
No, I float better than I swim, or rather, I guess I sink better than I float. But
yeah, well, I mean, if you don't have to worry about losing breath, and you can just keep breathing while you're underwater, it should be okay. It might actually help you be a little more comfortable under there. You know what I mean?
What's the other one?
it would it would definitely make me feel better. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll get that ready for you. I'll talk to the captain, see if we can make that happen for tomorrow morning. Okay?
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, anytime. I don't usually keep the cap of water breathing out because I wait, like I said, I wait for moments when we really need it. But yeah, but this is definitely one of those times. We should do that.
All right. So is that it for your guys's?
Did we find anything around the? I'm trying to investigate to see if we see anything around the ship.
Nah, you guys didn't really do anything that would damage the ship too much. You guys didn't really run into any weather. So in this case, there's not anything to roll in this particular instance. But now, having touched on everybody in the crew, we will go back into town where Morella and Gale have started to head back to the ship. Well, Ellie is going off to handle some business, which I am also curious about.
Ellie wouldn't stop Morella and Gale from coming with her. But if they noticed, she would have a little message in a bottle wrapped around her belt, and not knowing if they're ever going to come back here or if this area is going to erupt into ashes like the other town, Ellie would just go to the dock where she met her deceased husband and she would sort of sit at the dock, wade with her feet in the water for maybe like a minute or two, and she would just very gently hug the bottle, put the bottle in the ocean, and sort of say her very last goodbye and just let Kelro go.
Oh,
And then she would make her way back to the ship.
okay. So I'll ask the question then: did you guys go with her, or did you?
I just put this in the side chat. If she had specified that she just wanted to do her own thing in town, Morella would have immediately respected that and just be like, "Come on, Gail, let us go." If Gail has anything to say, yes.
Nah, I'm chilling with Morella. Because I have to tell her, hey, you almost got us murdered.
Yeah, let's have that conversation.
Yeah,
real quick.
while Ellie does her thing. Hey, buddy.
Morella just she kind of turns to the side. She goes, "What is it, buddy?"
So,
You're angry at me, aren't you?
I'm not angry.
I'm rolling your perception check. I'm rolling your perception check. That was not the roll. I just accidentally clicked something. That is a 16 plus 3 for 16, 17, 18. So that is a 19.
It's not anger, more as just pure baffled. Because it was very hard to track.
Is it the look of Gale disappointment? Is what I'm asking.
It's not Gale disappointment, more as Gale was very confused as to whatever you were doing in there. Because all I know is we almost got murdered.
Morella just kind of chuckles for a second and she goes, as much as I thought that we were going to get murdered in there, I felt like we had a much more likelihood of getting murdered by the necromancers that were out on the ship.
Well, no. I understand that. I'm just saying, like...
Would you rather have your soul sucked out and eaten, or would you rather just take the guillotine?
Okay, so hear me out here. We only had one real goal that we had to do, and that was drop off the talons and be like, hey, here's what we found. And then you were like, arrest me. No one was accusing you of a crime.
It sounded like that they thought that we did not bring enough fucking proof to things, not even for the original mission that we had. They sat there and it... Maybe I just got too angry.
Yeah. We did the original thing. It's just when you added the necromancer in there, that's when they were like, okay, well,
it's the fact that they felt like they didn't believe me, Gail. That is what is so frustrating about this, is that I talk about something that I did not want to feel like they thought that I was just making something up coming back from this great sort of proof test that we were supposed to. And
I
this
understand
is something very
that.
serious. It's not something that we should take lightly. And the fact that they thought of it as a joke, it made me angry.
And you're completely valid for that, because in a world where I can shoot radiant beams from my hands, a necromancer is not super crazy to think of as something that's possible at some point. But
government is much more complicated than that, and you know that.
Yep, it's all about preservation of peace. So we gotta relax. They probably know something that they're just not saying.
That's what pisses me off, and I hate that they just sits there and pretends like there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, but
when
getting
somebody's
riled
sitting
up,
here telling them that there is, and I know that we don't have proof, but from what I could tell, I didn't do an insight check, so I'm not going to tell. There was something that very much seemed off-put by them for me telling them this information.
and I couldn't quite read it. I didn't quite know it, but they were, the fact that they questioned me so much is what very much upset me. When the fact that there is a whole entire port in ashen ruins, and they still don't want to take it seriously, it's concerning, and I maybe I know Faza always taught us to try to practice restraint, but I can't help it when I feel like there's someone who doesn't believe what I'm trying to say to them, especially when I've seen it with my own eyes and what could happen afterwards.
All right. Well, maybe the thing that they were looking for was something more physical than, because anyone can say they see something.
Should we have brought back the severed heads? And
I mean, honestly, as gross as it is, it might have taken a little bit more.
I thought you guys were trying to raise the body to rest. So,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have to deal with the aftermath necromancy.
Yeah, it's a very complicated situation.
So
Like,
would
there's
we
what's the
rather us
morally
go to
correct
spirit
thing,
or
what's
bring
the
back the head?
governmentally correct thing. Like, we're stuck between a rock and a holy place here.
Papa always taught us to be as morally as correct as we possibly could, aside from looting corpses. Like,
That's really more of a gray area.
how much would Papa want us to bring back? Maybe this is a lesson. Perhaps maybe next time I should just bring back the severed heads. Okay,
Maybe just one, and be like, and maybe we take a picture of the other ones with our cameras that we have.
what cameras do we have? What is a camera? Are there cameras in this world?
No.
What is a camera, Gail? So Gail, I do.
I have this idea that I've been meaning to bring up to Ubriel. It's
Gail, as the captain of the ship, I very much entrust you with how you can take care of the other passengers. But right now, I am a little bit concerned about you for you mentioning these crazy things such as a camera.
oh, it's this crazy idea that I've had that I've been meaning to bring up to Ubriel. So, paintings, right?
Well, yeah, drawings, paintings.
And
it's,
like
take an image and you draw it into
yeah,
life.
like
or
like
whatever it is
painting,
the
like a
artist way.
landscape painting, right?
Yes.
So what if you could capture it without having to paint?
You means like say like the memories, or
Like, you could just click a button and then it would just, the painting would be done.
well, how would one go about that? I feel like that's something that
That's why I have to talk to
even
Ubriel, because it just sounds like magic.
it doesn't indeed sounds like magic, but I just what kind of spell was that, Vikaya? I can shape things and what kind of magic? And she's literally gonna start muttering to herself, just being like, "What the fuck did Gail just like?
What is he smoking?
What is he smoking?" She's then going to just kind of
Pure euphoria.
Yes, okay, Gail. I do not know of this camera things that you're saying. It sounds very interesting. Go to Ubria about it. I will highly accept this. His monkey has been surprisingly very helpful. But I do know I have a lot to learn as a captain. I am trying to keep this same confident vibe as our papa always did. But I feel like my passion overcomes my words very much so. And that is one of the main things that have scared me for so long, as trying to take on the role as captain here.
Yeah, you gotta slow down a little. Just take a breath. Think before the monologues.
Gail,
And
How is it that you can
because
always
they could have 100% like shot you there.
and I probably would have deserved it. But that's the thing, Gail. They didn't.
Oh no, no lesson is being learned here. No lesson is being learned. Oh no.
What I'm hearing is I'm untouchable.
No, the thing is, Morella definitely hears what Gail is saying. Is that she goes, yes, I was reckless. And
But they let me get away with it.
what do you
This
mean?
is like the worst lesson ever.
Right?
Can you
Do your thing. Sorry, I'm
No, it's
my bad.
fine. And I was expecting to get shot on the spots there. Because
You
honestly,
went in expecting to get shot?
I had a feeling that they wouldn't believe me when I told them what I told them. And I also know when it comes to the council, and granted, the 2 missing members that were there, what they said about Kainin, our papa, the last time that we met, it made me so very angry.
Well, the only two who had anything bad to say about Papa were gone. We were like
But
we were in the optimal position there.
they were still part of the council, though.
But
And
they're gone.
by gone
they just physically weren't in the room. We don't know.
No,
where
like,
they were.
yes, physically
no,
they
that's what
weren't
I mean.
there.
Like, was there ever an announcement of like, there's no longer these 2 people in the council? No, they just happened to not be there. And here's the thing: is that Morella is paranoid as fuck, thinking, yeah, they may not be there, but who the fuck is going to be giving them a lip
Get
later
this
on?
girl a Xanax.
You're the doctor. But you kind of
Here
see
you go. I call
Morella
it
just
the chill pill.
the what?
I cast chill pill.
The chill pill.
Yeah.
Gales, this is how you got your last fucking felony. Was
I was never convicted.
you almost got convicted?
Okay, just to set something, he is not giving you like a roofie or anything. He is just saying
No, but
just
it's
trying to
an
give you-
experimental drug, obviously, and that is what he's gotten
I
busted
mean-
for. Was like experimental methods as to how he dealt with patients.
Okay, but
And
like,
like,
this is
so that's
different.
why
Like, this one-
Morella, knowing
one's a
Gail,
sure
is just
shot.
kind of like, Gales, this is the last times that you got in trouble for. Is this one of your little experiments again?
No, this is one of the ones that is proven good, has never had a side effect. It
Insight
just calms
check.
you down.
Insight check. Do I have advantage because he's my glow bestie?
Sure. I have no idea what's happening right now, but I'm here for it. So
That's not much. That's a 7.
It's
Plus,
just an anti-anxiety medication.
7 plus 3, so 7, 8. No, that's a 10. It's just an anti-anxiety medication. God damn it. Morella's gonna sit there, look at Gail. She goes, what time? She's gonna look at whatever sundial on her wrist that she has. What time is it?
we'll say it's right around 2.
2?
Why not?
Yeah, I cannot afford to indulge in your experimental medications right now. Because personally, even if I were to relax, I think relaxing right now is not really an option. We have things we must get done. And I would have accepted that before all this happened. But
I'm
How
not
about-
trying to get you high. I'm just trying to get you not paranoid.
so I think the dragon grass does enough for me right now. If I need something stronger, I will come to you. Does that sound like a fair plan?
Okay, but if you walk into a room planning to get shot again, at least warn me next time so I can not go in.
That's why I was doing all this shit talking, so they would just aim at me and you guys could run. Okay, I was
That's not
trying my
how
best.
that works.
I at least somehow sought this out before I
They
came into
kill
the room.
all, not just one. It's a group effort.
But what were you guys going to do if they were going to shoot at me? Are you like, aside from running, which I would hopefully expect you guys to do?
Why would we run when you're getting shot? She
Because
wants to marry you, and I'm your best friend.
What do you mean by
Wait,
she
shit.
wants to marry me? What? Who wants to marry me? What? What kind of fever dream have you gotten yourself into, Gail?
She doesn't want to marry her. She wants to eat her. She thinks about it all the time.
Gale is gonna disappear because he just
Yeah,
broke Pippa.
I swear to God, Gail, why the fuck every time you say some weird fucking shit, you always just go, you disappear like this. You know what? Fine.
All right.
You can stay here. I'm going back to the ship. Goodbye. Goodbye. And she's gonna head back to the ship and go to her captain's quarters.
All right. So where we will take it from here is what happened to Shippa? That's valid. So Shippa violations aside, you guys do return to the ship. You guys are looking for something to do. There's a conversation to be had there.
Yeah. I am gonna knock on the captain's doors and slowly creak it open. And go, hey.
DM question.
Yes.
Is there, I know that the ship that we had was, taken by a street shark. Is there any sort of parchment aside from the contract that was given and the last orders given of Kynan? Is there any sort of books or anything that Morella would have had on her that would hold any history of the crew or Kynan's reputation?
You tell me. If you would have held on to something like that, then
Morella's a fucking bard who holds on to everything that holds great fucking memory to her. So anything Kynan would have given her, she would have probably kept on her in person that would have been small enough. That's what I'm saying. Because we left the ship, there's nothing she could have taken with her. But if there is always even a little note on a napkin or something that Kynan or any sort of bit of knowledge that he gave her, like a fucking fortune cookie fortune that he's just here. Is there anything like that she would have on her or that she would be thinking about involving mainly the individual that has been chasing them down with the glowing green eyes? Or even I can roll a history check to see if she remembers any stories that he told.
So specifically talking about that, I'm going to send this to you again.
Aside from the ballad,
that's the only thing that you remember hearing
that
about
is
this
the
guy
only
in particular.
thing. Okay, I was
I mean,
more
it's
trying to
a-
ask for
it's
something
a-
outside of that ballad, but
No, it's a common children's story, but that's pretty much it. It's just
all right. Morella is just gonna kind of be sitting in her captain's quarters, humming that same tune that Kynan hummed to her, not only in her dreams but also since she was a fucking child, and just try and piece together if there is something connected to this lore that he has always told her to what is going on now. Is this the past catching up to us, or is this something bigger?
Knock, knock.
What is it, Gail?
So there's one thing I didn't tell you from when we were at the council meeting.
Are you here to lecture me again?
No.
Oh.
The headmistress gave me a mission for us. Because you were talking too fast and didn't want to listen.
Well, you know from both Kynan and everyone else on the crew, I'm more one to throw punches, ask questions later.
I wouldn't do that to the people who give us the missions, though. Just a theory.
Tells that to the spites that I have burning within me right now. I have a lot of rage, and the last two men that were there, even though they weren't there, I still felt that their presence was still there. And obviously, they still have an impact on this council, hence why I wanted to try my best to do so. As if you see it as a sign of weakness, I understand that, but
It's a skill that we can cultivate in a different direction.
are you trying to put me in another therapy session, aren't you?
No, I'm here to bring you a present. I'm giving you something for us to do.
Okay, just tell me what we need to do. Before I.
Oh, this is great.
Morella is just kind of like, why is everybody just? Morella, she has been in fight or flight mode for so long right now, and she's finding it very hard to turn it off right now. So she takes a deep breath, especially with Gail being there, and she goes, "Okay,
Girl, do you need a hug?"
Morella sits there for a moment upon him asking that question, is there anybody else or any of the crew around, or is this in her captain's quarters?
This is the
It is
quarters.
established that it is in your quarters.
Morella takes a moment as her lip quivers and she just starts sobbing.
I will go and scoop her into my not strong arms at all and give my best friend a hug.
Morella would just hug Gail, and she's just like, there's so much that I did not know was supposed to be coming with a captain. This is, how the fuck did Kynan even do this? How the fuck did Papa even do this? We're fucking batshit! How did he even contain us? What am I supposed to even do with a somewhat conscientious crew? Like,
well,
what is a balanced crew supposed to do with a chaotic captain? I thought I was never supposed to take on this role. I thought I wouldn't have to for years, but yet a stupid street shark changed all of it. And she just kind of starts breaking down in front of Gail, and she's angry. She's still very much grieving, and she's scared. She's very scared. She's like, this is the kind of leadership I thought I was never having to take on, and this amount of weight has been put on my shoulders, and I don't want to put it on anybody else, because Kynan, to her, never felt like he had to depend on anybody. And how she saw him, she thinks that how she put him on a pedestal is the same way that she needs to represent herself, and she doesn't realize that Kynan was probably very much seen as a flawed individual just as much as she is, and she thinks she has to be perfect.
all right. So we're feeling some big feelings right now.
We're very much
And that's
feeling some big
okay.
feelings right now, and I do not like it.
It's okay. You got to let the big feelings out sometimes.
I hate it when you're right.
Can I let you in on a secret that I didn't tell you for years?
I don't know if I should kill you for not telling me it, but go ahead.
Papa used to come see me when he was feeling a little anxious.
But why should I put that kind of burden on you? Papa, God damn it, Gail. What do you mean
everyone-
exactly? Why would
Once
Papa-
I got my counseling degree, he came to me to talk when he was a little stressed out because everyone needs to unload sometimes.
are you telling me that Papa went to you for therapy?
Everyone did. I used to have a patient load, and then everyone died.
You guys had therapy?
Uh-huh.
Morella's just kind of sit back for a second. She goes, "Is that why you always tried to make sure that I was okay?" Because Morella, she was always stuck in her own little world. She really didn't realize that Gail had been the fucking crew therapist up until he became the crew therapist.
Quite literally, the moment I became a therapist, I got a job.
Well, again, Kanan didn't fucking go to Morella and tell her that he was going to Gail for therapy. Nor did she know the rest of the crew was going to Gail for therapy. But she is now looking back and thinking about it, and she kind of sits there for a minute. And she goes, "Have all of our friendship talks been therapy sessions?" Gail? Gail?
No.
What am I to you? A patient?
Plot twist.
No. You're my best friend.
As your binder for you says clinical trial.
Morella has an underlining tone knowing that like how Gail thinks. She knows that like Gail is kind of he's lying, but he's really not lying in a way. And she just kind of sighs. She goes,
Look, okay. Everything that you're doing it one step at a time. We're finding your footing. You'll get there.
"It seems I'm doing it horribly right now. Just from what you're saying."
I think you're doing great.
You say as you
the
come in
fact-
here to lecture me.
I just wanted to tell you that we got a job, but I guess we're doing a therapy session.
Well, now that I think that every time I talk to you seems to turn into a therapy session because you always seem to.
This is
I-
literally the second time in like weeks that we've had an emotional talk. You've been so busy.
Well, we've always had emotional talks, Gail, but it's been different before that. It hasn't been professional. It's been you were my friend, you were my partner in crime, and the person who we would cause trouble together. And
And
feels
we
like we can't. But I feels like right now with this role that I hold, I don't know if I even have time to enjoy things for myself. I have so many people depending on me. And I know that I can be rash, but it's mainly because I don't want not only myself to be seen as weak, but I do not want my crew to be seen as weak. And if I'm reckless, then so be it, but I would rather have myself be taken down for what I am than in what we in Kainen have always tried to represent, Papa, than all the chaos that is going on in the world right now, even if people don't believe us. It's just it's scary, Gail. I'm trying to act like I know what I'm doing, but I really don't. I really don't.
It's okay to not know what you're doing. None of us do.
The only thing I'm good at is pretending that I do.
That's all life is pretending you know what you're doing until you get it right.
But isn't it horrible at the same time to be lying to so many people when you don't even know what you are?
You're finding out who you are, and that's amazing. And that's why you're going to be the best goddamn captain that we ever had.
Why do I feel like you're lying? But I can't help but hug you.
Insight check me.
All right. Oh, that's actually pretty. That's a 17 plus for insight. That will be 17 plus 3 for 17. 18. For a dirty girl 20.
Gale doesn't lie. Gale doesn't lie.
He does.
Only to
Well,
himself.
Gale
That's
doesn't
his
lie
point.
this time, but Morella just kind of understands what he's trying to do, and she is also still trying to keep things professional despite her vulnerability right now. And she just she takes a deep breath. I will do my best. Just if the next time that I step out of term, maybe just blow my head up in the little earring thing and just tell me to shut the fuck up. I'll see if I can try and cover the best I can. Sometimes I get so emotional when it comes to those situations. You know me, I've always run off of my passions. And I just want people to listen, but sometimes I don't exactly know how to get people to listen. Kylan's always been good at that. You as well. Me, not so much. I can perform, but when it comes to actually having people to listen instead of just enjoy things, it's very different.
Yeah. I'll give her another big hug. Big Gale hug, which
Glow
is not that
Glow buddy hug.
yeah. Not that
All
strong,
right.
but and then
Morella
we should
probably like
probably-
hugs him a little bit more at this, which is like
Yeah.
big Morella squeeze. Like she even like maybe flops him around for a second before puts him back down.
Okay. Now we should probably actually talk about the thing that I came to talk about. And I pull out the
How
note.
I almost killed people. Yes, in submission.
I pull out the note that the Tide Mistress gave me that says that we need to go after the Crag Skulls because they left the Brethren and must be brought to the blade.
Genevieve will take care of it. With that, she will go turn to Gal. Gal, I would like for you to tell Ellie this information as to what our next mission is. Have her bring it out to the rest of the crew. Give me the locations and the latitude and longitude of what we have been given for the location of which we are to start this mission. I
You
will
guys
be in my
were
captain's
given
quarters.
no location of it.
no location.
No,
Just
they
go
just
find
said
him?
somebody is a problem.
So what exactly what kind of skulls is this? You said the what skulls? The crag
They're-
skulls?
They're a pirate group, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
we just
they
gotta
were.
go find them until we kill them.
Until they weren't. And like they said, once you leave the Brethren, once you forsake the Brethren, then you become Reavers and Raiders. And they are not so welcome.
All right. May I roll a history check to see if Morella knows of any places that they probably would go for any sort of individuals that have left the Brethren?
Sure.
Just from what Kynan has said of like people who have abandoned the.
So I will make you roll for that. The correct answer is always running, because if one of the Brethren ships sees a Reaver, they kill them. They are not good. They bring undue attention from
Well,
the
yes, I get
navies.
that. But is there any sort of place that is rumored to be like the go-to after someone is to abandon the Brethren and try and become a Reaver? Is there a place known for Reavers to gather, or for them to just kind of their basic port that they go to or known to go to?
Sure. Go for it. Make a roll. What are you rolling to try to figure this out?
I am rolling to try and find is that whenever if there is any sort of legend or tale and not even legend or tale, but any sort of information of where people tend to go or what is
Okay.
a common.
Give me a history roll. Go for that.
Okay, I'll go for a fucking history roll. That's a 11 plus 11, 12, 13, 14. That's a straight 15.
15. All right. So with a 15, you sit there and you contemplate your many conversations with Kynan about Reavers and Raiders and what they do. And they don't have. So the Brethren are known for being loosely organized, loosely governed. You know, it's not super tight, but there are general pirate outposts that the Coral Crown leaves alone, that the navies leave alone. You don't mess with them, they don't mess with you, blah, blah, blah. But the Reavers, they just go where they want and do whatever the fuck they want. They are completely on the wind. They don't have any kind of central location. They stay in small groups of their own, you know. By groups I mean pretty much
Like
just one or maybe two crews.
A place for them to go and hang out.
No, because they own no loyalty to each other whatsoever. If they see each other, they will beat the shit out of each other pretty much.
They're like indie pirates. Okay, I
pretty
get it.
much. But what he would say to you is that if you are trying to find a group, that there's always taverns and stuff like that to go to, and especially if it is a group that has recently left the Brethren, that there are probably people that you can talk to and find out what they got going.
Morella would kind of just turn to them. She goes, "Well, I think it's been about times that I have put on a performance in the slums, in the more city parts of places, and maybe we can have our crew go throughout and acknowledge things. I will try and keep things distracted while they do in what they need to do and find what we are looking for."
All right.
And with that, she is going to go back to her paperwork, trying to find what would be the best place to possibly try and start this sort of investigation.
Well, I mean, you know the taverns in town.
Well, yeah, she is like she is probably going to start in some of the certain taverns, but also just if there's any locations that they are headed to on the way, she wants to see if they can't find anything here, what would be the next tavern that will go there.
All right. So having come up from here, from knowing it, you know that the primary taverns are places where there might be some loose lips to try to find some information. The Drunken Kraken is the biggest, most boisterous tavern around. And if not there, the Siren Song Brothel is also that's a pretty good. I mean, if you're good with the girls there, they're always willing to share some information for some coin.
So I'm guessing
amongst many other things.
So would Marilla know that any place with more whores, would there be more men willing to talk, or would they be more willing to talk at the bar?
Well, if they're at the
You have to remember
brothel,
she's also actually, can I use any of my Grinner connections? I forgot I'm a fucking Grinner. Can I use any of my Grinner connections?
You absolutely could go for that.
So if there is a nearby Grinner location on the land that we are on right now, she would start there, and then if she can't get any information from there, she would go to the next port to figure out what she's looking for.
All right. So we'll play it this way then. To know to talk to your connections, you do go to the Drunken Kraken, and you look for very specific types of people. This loose connection that you guys got of bards that do their thing in the various taverns, and you find one, and you start talking to him. And here's the way I'm going to say it, and I'm going to do this with a very specific purpose. He pretty much just tells you that they've been very tight-lipped on the whole thing, at least from what they've been able to pick up. But what I want to know is, would you have just been going after this, or would you have told your crew to go out and
Oh
find
no,
what they could
Morella
find?
would have gone back, told the crew about this situation beforehand. She wouldn't be going off and trying to do this on her own. She I will say she would have notified the crew of
Okay. Well, that's good.
what's going on, and whether they have any sort of connections of their own that they would like to pursue, she would allow them to do so. And if anyone wants to come with her, she would allow them to come with her. But she is pretty much going to kind of stick with her Grinner connections.
Mhm.
So I don't know if she would be extremely secretive about that with the rest of the crew. Aside from Gale. So,
Well, I would say that the Grinners, like, at least in the Brethren, like, people know of them. They might not know who specifically is a Grinner, but the Grinners are, to the Brethren, they're known because they are pretty much, people buy information from the Grinners,
yeah.
right? The Grinners, like, when it comes to them being secretive and shit, that's primarily when they're infiltrating the kingdoms around. They find scores and stuff like that. You know, so that's kind of where the secretive part would be. So I would say that the crew would probably know that you are one if you trust them enough.
Okay. Any of
Like,
the
you
crew.
wouldn't exactly go and point to and be like, oh, and that guy's one, and that guy's one, and that guy's one. Like,
Oh
it
no.
wouldn't be like that. But
No, I will say Morella would probably take the majority of her crew with her after explaining the situation, and pretty much being like, "Hey, we're gonna go out for a night out in the tavern."
beautiful. Is there anybody who
Ubriel,
doesn't
Ubriel's
go?
gonna stay behind. Yeah. I'm working on the cap for Chandrian.
Okay.
I got to do some work on that. It's gonna take a little while.
Beautiful.
Sidebar question: does he have
Yeah.
to do that because we have the seafaring whistle?
Probably not, to be honest. I forgot about the seafaring whistle. That would
What's the
actually
seafaring
do.
whistle do again?
It gives you
Does it give you
water
a swim
walk
speed?
or
I have
water
it.
breathing.
No, he's gonna be able to go under the water. Does it give
I
water
have it.
breathing or not?
It does give water breathing. I just didn't know who had it, so
But it
I
only
didn't know if
acts
that
as a
was useful.
spell. It only acts as the spell. And it's up to 4 people.
Okay. So it acts like water breathing. and it
Water
lasts
breathing or
for-
water walking, up to 4 people in range.
Okay. Does the person have to keep blowing on it to keep it going?
No.
Huh. Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess if that'll work. Water breathing lasts for, let's see.
All right. So everybody else is heading to, besides Morel, who is pretty object to getting off the ship. Is everybody else going into the tavern / brothel or what?
Sure, why not?
Sweet. Party! Morel stays back on the ship.
Yeah, duration on it 24 hours. So, yeah, that'll be plenty of time for him to do it. No big deal. All right. So, yeah, I guess I don't
All
have
right.
to swap it over. We figured that out. I'll come with them. That's fine.
Sweet. What is okay? So all of you guys are walking through the town, and you're heading to kind of a central location in the Revelry District. And you see this large 5-story building. Windows are being actively broken out of it. Fights are going. There's people singing. Smoke is pouring out, like tobacco smoke and stuff like that. You hear people laughing and just having a good time. And you guys recognize this, all of you that have been to Beshbakra, as the Drunken Kraken. And immediately next to it is an equally large building, though significantly more toned down. I wouldn't go as far as to say civilized, but much more. There's a different business that goes on there, and some of you recognize that as the Siren Song, the local brothel. Who is going where in these two buildings? Please tell me Eric is going to the brothel.
Eric would be going to the bar.
Oh, you're not going to go try to save some souls?
No, that's, he doesn't feel the need to preach on that. It's their choice. They can do what they want to make a living.
All right. Where is Ubriel going?
I guess I will head to. I mean, I don't want to follow along. I'll probably go there wherever Eric's going. We'll go check things out.
Yay! Keep the ship going. I'm here for it.
And Chandrian too. Is he headed off someplace or?
Hey, he's mine.
What was that?
Oh,
he's with you.
Apparently, I've been claimed.
Oh, you've been claimed already. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess bros getting hosts. Here we go.
So does that mean Gale and Chandrian are going to the brothel?
No, we're going to the bar. We're just going somewhere else in the bar.
Got it. And that leaves Ellie and Morella.
Obviously, the brothel.
Ellie would just sort of follow Marilla's lead, give her a little bit of space, but sort of have her back.
So, these individuals that you mentioned, do they have like a particular sigil or sign that we're familiar with? Like, is there a kind of gang sign that they carry on them, like a scarf?
I'm sorry, what was that? Somebody sent me a message. That was totally my bad.
Okay. The individuals that we are trying to find, do they have any sort of particular sigil or color that they represent?
Okay, are you talking about the Crag Skulls, like the people you're going after, or are you talking about the Grinners that you're trying to find? No, I already said that the Grinners didn't tell you nothing. All right, so not that you know of. You guys haven't heard of the Crag Skulls. Like, you guys are literally just trying to find anybody that you know that might know them.
Repeat that?
I said you have never heard directly of them. They are a relatively small crew from what you've been told, so you're just trying to figure out what you can do to try to find where they might be. So,
there is no sigil or any sort of
cheesy jalapeno.
We have no sigil or color that we can find these individuals. Currently, we just need to find the Grinners at this point. Thank you.
Bless you. Bless you.
Yeah, it's the cheesy jalapeno season. Y'all gotta watch out for that one. That's the buttery popcorn.
That was a wonderful first introduction to the hubby. That's awesome. Sneeze, sneeze, sneeze. Watch out for the cheesy jalapeno.
Well, I asked him to bring me the cheesy jalapeno seasoning, and I wanted it with my popcorn in the worm bucket. But anyway, can you please repeat what you just said? My brain was so overstimulated at that moment.
Now I lost it. What did I just say, Justin? Was anybody paying attention to me?
I don't know, man. I'm lost.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry if we all got lost on cheesy jalapeno.
So here's the way I'm going to call it right now, because we are right about at our 3-hour mark.
Yay!
And we seem to have got off track a little bit. So what we're going to do is we are going to keep in mind that you guys are actively looking for information. I'm going to give you guys 2 weeks to figure out how you're going to find it. But we are going to call this as a logical stopping point today. And because I just completely lost that because I'm stuck on cheesy jalapeno. Now watch out for it. That was wonderful.
I'm so sorry.
But no, dude, you're good. It's just
I asked him to bring asked him to bring him the cheesy jalapeno. I didn't know he.
It is almost 10 o'clock. It is almost 10 o'clock after a long work day for most of us. Like, it's good. It's fun. But when we round out the night, what we usually do is we say what else we got going around in the Nexus and in our adjoining bodies. So I will say here in the Nexus, next thing coming up on Monday, you can come back here and catch Selkie and Taylor in there, and Ken, old Ken, more Drunken Blade, in our Monday campaign called Shattered Awakenings, which, if you can believe it or not, is even more unhinged than this one, but I somehow managed to keep a better lid on it most of the time. So come in there for that one. That one's a little different. You know what, Selkie? Shut up. Nobody asked you. But that one is a little different. This one kind of pirate themed. That one's a little more neo-modern and a little more in the future. So that's fun. Next Wednesday, you can be back here and watch Ken down there DM a group going through the Shattered Obelisk, Phandelver and Beyond and then he adds his own spin to it in a campaign called Kinship's Destiny, which is honestly really good. Ken is a much better DM than me. I watch to try to learn how to do what he does. I'm still a Padawan. I'm still learning, so I appreciate that. But the big news, for me anyway, I consider it big news. Next Saturday, you can come back here for the second wonderful one-shot that we are running. That is when I'm usually in a game ran by Ken that we don't stream, but that's on hiatus for a minute until after the holidays. So I'm running a series of one-shots. We're doing the next one that's called Cursed Sands, and you're going to find Selkie in there. You're going to find Talon in there. You're going to find Lady Lily, who is in with us on Mondays and Wednesdays in there. But the big news for me on that one is that I am actually going to have the AMDM himself coming in to play as a player for me, and I am terrified because, like, I am part of the Mimic Army, so like I'm so nervous but so excited. But that's going to be a good time. That one's going to be a level 20 one-shot. So if you guys want to tune in next Saturday to see some 20th level madness going on. And I will say this, I actively warned the players that there may or may not be a Tarask. And it is a party full of casters. Well, no, Selkie changed because she was going to be a druid, so she changed to a monk, which changing to a player that has to get up next to something to punch it is a bold strategy. But
what time is that one at, Brian?
That one is going to be at 8 p.m. Central. So it is going to be here on the YouTube. It's going to be over on the Twitch. So it is going to be recorded. So if it's a little late for some of you, you guys can watch it later, and that's okay. So Taylor walked away, so I can't have her give a shout out to what's going on over there. That's okay though. Talon's face right now has got me concerned. All right, Taylor's back. Taylor, what else is going on in the world of Dimensional Dial, which is another
It's not Dimensional Dial.
not Dimensional Dial, the To Be Diced.
It's
I'm
called
sorry.
To Be Diced. We
My
have
bad.
a full lineup for our Star Wars one-shots, but also ongoing campaign in one-shots with Daddy Tarzan 82855. He does do one-shots online if you guys would like to join him. He also has a bunch of base set characters if you want to learn a new tabletop RPG. I highly encourage you guys to go and try and learn, especially if you are a huge Star Wars nerd like myself.
Do you know what system he runs?
Um,
Is it Saga Edition?
I don't think it's Saga Edition. It's been a long time since I have played in that campaign, so I cannot give that to you directly. But I can ask Tarzan to give me the details on exactly. But it is a Star Wars tabletop RPG. It is very role play based. The dice are very different, but he also is taking on like a bunch of one shots for those for you to be able to learn the game if you would like to take the time to understand. I think I want to say it's Frontiers, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Cool.
If I am wrong, please let me know. Again, I am not familiar with this. This is still a platform I am still learning as well. So I cannot be one to comment exactly what format he is using in it, but he will be very willing to explain it to you. And he also has characters preset for you to choose, so you don't have to build your own character, just so you can kind of get the feel of the game if you want to just kind of try out this tabletop RPG. As for Dimensional Dial of Dr. Diago, that is still to be decided for the next month's one shot, or not one shot, but the 1 month Dimensional Dial series. And then, as usual, for Thursday, we have Tales of Arden going on. And I believe Lady Lily of La La Land is going to be having her one shot, I think this Saturday, or no, it's this Sunday. I am hoping to be a part of.
Wonderful.
I would highly encourage you guys to go and see. Lily has just started taking on DMing, and I am not experienced in DMing, but I thoroughly enjoy being a part of her adventures, and I hope you guys will be willing to look in and watching a new DM blossom into something beautiful, especially with a beautiful homebrew as
Hey,
herself.
I give her credit for starting to DM with a homebrew world and doing it on a live stream. That is a bold strategy on both counts, so I fully support her doing what she does.
I've been playing D&D for over 2 years, and I still am terrified to even touch DMing. So I have mad respect for Lily. She
Mad
has
respect.
hit the ground running, and I'm so happy to see her really enjoying the way
Yeah.
that she is doing things. And I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Y'all should definitely check it out, especially if you love high fantasy. Just absolutely.
Awesome. So with that, that will be our. Ah! My light fell down. My bad. Sorry. All right. So that will be our night for tonight. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Thank you guys for sticking with us through most of the night, even though we got completely derailed by jalapeno cheddar.
Jalapeno cheddar. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's great. I love it. It's the best way. It's
Like,
the best
I
way
was
I've
not
gotten
expecting
derailed.
my
It's better
husband
than
to
getting
show up
derailed
with-
by like shitty news or something.
Well,
but-
like my husband tries to surprise me with random snacks because I forget to eat, and I was not expecting him to just show up with like random like cheddar popcorn, and I am so 100% grateful for it, and I love it so much.
Love it
But I was not expecting the random snacks that came out there, and I did not mean to derail the fucking campaign.
Dude, you're good. You're good. All right. For everybody else, we will see you guys here in 2 weeks, or we will see you here wherever else you find us here in the Nexus. So, with that, thank you guys very much for coming, and we will see you guys next time, probably. There we go. All right. Have the button. All right. Good night, everybody.
Night.